my name is Sarah. I tutor here in the Native American Center on the 3rd floor of the OC building. 1318 is the room number. It's recommended not to use the elevator. It is not safe for students. Don't quote me on that. I just personally am terrified of it, and we think it's haunted. So today I'm going to actually combine two different lessons because they're both very short in what you need to know about them to get through the homework assignments. In my opinion, I'm sorry if they're not and I don't give you enough information. If so, just email me and I'll make sure to never do it again. So the lessons I'm going to be combining is Chapter 2, Section 3. The title of that lesson is Lines. And Chapter 2, Section 4, the title of that lesson is Circles. Even though names are sound kind of simple. So I bet you can see where this is going. So first, obviously, I'm going to start with lines because lines is what goes first, flipping-wise in the book. I wrote some stuff about it. I have green paper today, which I'm very excited about, believe it or not, because it's just prettier than my paper. So, one of the things you're definitely going to need for this section is to know how to find the slope of a line. You find the slope by using rise over run form. What might that mean, you ask? It's if you have 2 points on the graph, let's say on number 14, you have 0, 0, and -2 and 1. You'll take this, you'll take your y's first, do this, use the second y first, y minus 0, and then use the second x first, put that over -2 minus 0, and that's going to give you y over -2. So your slope is going to be 1/2. However, because of the negative sign, it's actually going to be -1/2, and you'll have a negative slope if you were to graph that point, which the book has it graphed for you, and you'll notice that this line runs this way, which indicates a negative slope. If the line goes this way, it indicates positive. So if you're trying to find the slope for a line that runs this way, and you end up with a positive answer, you did it wrong. If you try to find the slope for a line that's running this way, you end up with a negative answer. Once again, that would be incorrect. I have on here where I worked out number 26 on page 178. Let me make sure that's the right one before I start showing you how to do it. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. It says, graph the line that contains the point P and has slope M. Okay? I did not graph it because I hate graphing things. Honest to God, hate it. So that is more of a you thing. But basically, when you graph it, you'll just, and if it was 0.22, boom, dot, graph. And then you do the same thing with slope. If you're graphing the slope and it's -1/2, then that means you go down 1 and over, down 1 and over 2. So you'll be like right there in that area. I know this, you can't really see this very well, but like graphs, not really my thing, man. Anyhow, so it wants you to find the point slope form of the point and the slope it gives you. So to do that, you'll get your point is going to be 2 and 1. And your slope is going to be 4. I forgot how to make a 4. Okay, so to use this information to do point slope form, you're going to need to know, or what's in the book. You're going to need to know the information on page 171. Sorry about that. It is the second yellow box. It shows you this formula. This is the formula you will use to get this information into point slope form. First, you'll start by plugging things in. If it's the y just by itself, doesn't have a 1 next to it, and if it's the x that doesn't have the 1 next to it, it will stay y and x. But the ones that have the numbers next to them, they're going to change to your numbers for your point. So y is 1. Keep your parentheses. Your slope is 4. M stands for slope. X is going to stay the same, but x1 is going to turn into 2. All right, so this is what you have so far. All you did is you took the information given to you, you plugged it into the equation. So now you're going to work it out. Start on this side. Go ahead and bring your y minus 1 down. We're not going to do anything with that yet. Start on this side by using the distributive property, which means 4 times x gives you 4x, and 4 times -2, which will give you -8. And that side is pretty much finished. Now you need to get the y by itself, because you're trying to put this in point slope form. So to get the y by itself, you add 1 here, and you'll add 1 here, and that's going to give you y equals 4x minus 7. And that's going to be your answer. Because point slope form is y equals mx plus b. And then this is your slope, this is your b. Everything works out just the way you want it to. And once again, that was number 26 on page 178. So you'll need to know that information. I'm just realizing that I have no idea how to tell how long this recording specifically has been going. Okay, so I'll just move on to the next one. Remember, the next chapter that we're going to cover is going to be chapter 2, section 4. It starts on page, the problems start on page 186 in your book. And that's the page you're going to be looking at. It starts it off by asking you to find the center and the radius of each circle. But since that only covers 4 problems, what I really want to focus on is the standard form and the general form of the equation of each circle of radius. Is the standard form of the equation and the general form of the equation for circles. Let me erase this. I don't know if you guys have ever used one of these things, but this is pretty cool. I find this generally entertaining, believe it or not. Okay, so standard form of an circle, sorry, not an equation, circle, is x minus h squared plus y minus k also squared equals r squared. So R is your radius, and in this lesson, whenever it gives you a point, it's going to specify that that point is for HK instead of XY. If I remember correctly, HK stands for the center of the circle. So whenever you're looking for intercepts and such, you need to know the center of the circle to find that, and that's why it's set up that way. The one I worked out in my free time is one I lost. It's 15, I think. Let me check that. It's 15, yeah. Okay. So first, I'm going to show you how to get the standard form of the equation. So what you will do, because this is the standard form for the equation. So all you're going to do is plug in the numbers, which is the radius equals 2 and HK equals 0, 2. And you're plugging these in over here. So you leave X the way it is. Plug in H. H is the first one to come. That's why it shows you HK like this. So you know that this is going to be H in your problem. So that's a 0, 2 plus Y, K, which is the second one. So minus 2 squared equals R squared. Okay? So this is standard form. However, and this would usually be your, this shouldn't be R. My bad. Your radius is 2, so this is going to be 2 squared. This is standard equation, but it has to be simplified before it's the answer. So what you'll do is you'll see if you can simplify this part. X minus 0, it's not going to change X at all, so that's going to just give you X squared. And then you're just going to have plus Y minus 2. You don't know what Y is, so you cannot change Y. So this equation over here is just going to stay in this form. And then 2 squared is 4. And that is the standard. My 4 is super weird. Okay, anyhow, that is standard form of a circle. So you'll just plug in your radius and your center, and then if there's anything that needs to be simplified, you have to simplify it, and then you'll have your answer for standard form. Now you need to have your general form. So general form is when, where did my little mouse go? Sorry about that. General form, it's a bit longer than standard form. Let me erase it and put it up on the board for you. I won't be able to do that soon. You live and you learn. Okay, x squared plus y squared plus ax plus by plus c equals 0. This is the general form for a circle. I know it looks a bit crazy, but it's not as difficult as it's going to seem. And you'll get that whenever we work out this when we work out this one. Once again, we're going to be doing number 15. This time we're putting it in general form, which is also part of the answer. And it says, and first, Sorry, my bad. Okay, this is what you want to get it to, but this isn't what you start out with. You're going to start out using the form you just used a little bit ago, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So this is the form you're going to start out with. This is what you want to get it to. So let's go ahead and plug in those numbers, just like we did last time. Not a big deal so far. It's the same thing, we just did this, and that's just what we have. But now, you're going to solve what you have. So, the FOIL method, I don't know if you guys have already done that or not, because I can't remember right now, but you'll use this. Oh no! Did I undo that? Thank God, I undid it. Okay, you'll use this side and do the FOIL method on this equation, and you'll do the FOIL method on y minus 2 squared. Okay, so let's do x minus 0 first. Okay, you do first outer, which gives you nothing because anything multiplied to 0 will give you nothing. Inner, which also gives you nothing, it gives you 0 because anything multiplied to 0 gives you 0. And then outer, which, once again, anything multiplied to 0 will give you 0. So all you get from this one, all you get from this problem is going to be the x squared. So let's go ahead and transfer that down here. I'm going to erase this part. And now we're going to work out y minus 2 squared. So y minus 2 times y minus 2. You'll be using the FOIL method again. So you do first y squared outside negative 2y inside, which is also negative 2y, and last, which will give you a positive 4. Negative 2 times y, negative 2 times y, negative 2 times negative 2, y times y, double checked, and that is what you're going to get. So let's go ahead and transfer that down here. You might notice that you have two like terms in here, which is negative 2y and negative minus 2y, which is the same thing. So you can add those together, which is going to give you y squared plus 4y plus 4. Oh, I'm sorry, not plus 4y, negative 4. My bad. Because you need to get rid of your like terms. You'll notice them again over here. I'll just erase them here and replace them. So that will give you negative 4y when you add those together, plus 4. Okay, now you need to simplify your radius, which I know you can probably barely see it, but it was 2 to the second power, which is going to give you 4. Now, like with your last equation, this looks good. It fits the form, except for one thing. This doesn't equal 0. You need this to equal 0 for the equation to be correct. So you're going to get rid of 4, subtract 4 here, and subtract 4 here, and that's going to give you x squared minus y squared minus 4y equals 0 as your final answer. So this is your final answer. I know this doesn't look exactly like this because it doesn't have an X, and it doesn't have a C, but you don't have to have those for it to be in general form. Like the zeros cancel each other out, so you can't control that. That's just how it works out. So even though you might think you need this and this, you don't need that, but you always have to have your equation balanced to 0. So answer, and don't forget, this is general form, the other one was standard form. Okay, I have no idea how long that took, because once again, I have got to ask somebody how to tell how long this takes without like timing myself or something. But that's all I have for this one. I combined those because I thought it would be short, but now I'm thinking it was a little longer than I thought it would be. So I don't know if these videos will still be combined by the time this is together. This is done and been edited and stuff. But if it's not, sorry if there's any confusion. That's, as far as I know, that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for your time. Once again, if you ever need help, I am in the Natai Lab, OC building, 3rd floor. It's the room 1318, or is literally the only floor up here that is full of computers for you to use. I forgot what else I was gonna say. So I guess I'm signing off. Bye.